Hi everyone, it's time for another episode of Nick's Nerd Network, and I'm Nick, and I'm here to do another installment, a long-awaited installment, of my rants and raves about Pokemon. And we're going to be doing part 1 of Generation 3. So, Generation 3, it's been a while since those games came out. They had a remake a few years ago that introduced them to a new generation of kids, and I want to share with you some of my thoughts about these Pokemon, whether it's through the original games, the remakes, Pokemon Go, or even the lesser known GameCube versions of the game, such as Gale of Darkness or Pokemon Coliseum. So, let's get started. Now, I want to talk to you about Blaziken. Blaziken is the final evolution of one of the starter Pokemon, Torchic, and I was really surprised by this Pokemon because in previous games, taking the fire starter has always been like the harder path because you're usually going to go up against something that is much easier for the water or grass starter to go up against. So it was really exciting this game that it eventually evolves into having a fighting type and it learns some fighting moves, which then helps you to be more successful against the rock type gyms in the beginning of the game. It's honestly just a cool design and it's arguably probably one of the best starters that are out there, and I loved when it got its mega evolution later on in the games. Now the downside to Blaziken is it really set the tone for fire type Pokemon for a while. We had 3 fire fighting type Pokemon in a row, which then kind of like made it stale and some of them weren't good at all. I mean, Infernape's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. But it just, I don't know, they kind of like broke it and they're not really as popular anymore. Now, this Pokemon caused a lot of frustration for me, and that is Feebas. And not only Feebas, but Milotic. So let's start with Feebas. In the original games of Ruby and Sapphire, it was incredibly hard to find. You could only find them in certain spots in certain areas, and you could be fishing for hours and hours and hours and hours and never even find one. Then you finally find one, and then you need to somehow make it feel pretty and able to evolve, and then it becomes a Milotic. Now, many of you face a Milotic probably before you even attempt to get a Feebas of your own when you're fighting them in the Elite Four, and it's such a frustrating Pokemon because its stats are so high. But then you go through all that work to catch a Feebas. I have never been able to get my Milotic after I evolved it from a Feebas to be nearly as powerful as gym leaders in other games or Elite Four members in other games have gotten their Milotics to be. Even the Milotic in Pokemon Stadium or Pokemon Coliseum was way more powerful, and I don't understand how I couldn't get mine to be that strong. It's really frustrating, especially to go through all the effort to get a Pokemon. Now, I want to talk to you about Swellow.
Look at that!
Swellow is really one of my favorite flying type Pokemon. You catch it early on in the games, and it's just so fast and has high attack, and it really helps you in those early battles, just getting real quick like jabs in. And that's really all I have to say about this Pokemon. It's a cool design, very sleek, very aerodynamic, probably one of the coolest looking of the like early in the game normal bird types that you get in most generation games. Now, this is a Pokemon that I love to hate, and that is Metagross.
Once again.
And Metagross, it is one of those Pokemon that like everyone uses, and so when me and my friends used to battle a lot playing in our games in college, a lot of times in their teams they would have 2 or more Metagrosses because they were just so hard to chip away at, and people weren't really using fire Pokemon that often. Like unless you had a really fast like Earthquake Pokemon, you really didn't stand a chance. So they're really tough Pokemon. I mean, it's a genius Pokemon. I was really happy when it came out. It was kind of hard to evolve. It's like a pseudo legendary. But the fact that so many people use it, and like even in Pokemon Go nowadays, it's in the gyms constantly. I mean, I'm guilty of that, but you know, it's refreshing to see some other Pokemon being used and get out there. Now, one of the things that pissed me off the most about Generation 3 Pokemon is some of the bug Pokemon, and I'll tell you why they pissed me off. Because they start off in their small forms or their early evolutions, and they're really cool, unique typings like Bug Water or Bug Ground. Yes, I'm talking to you, Sunskirt, and I'm talking to you, Nikita. And then they evolve into bug flying types. Now, granted, Takeda, if you have an open spot in your party, it can turn into a bug ghost type Pokemon. But for the most part, you don't really know that, and so you end up with a bug flying type Pokemon. And then Sunskirt evolves into a bug flying type Pokemon. Wow, what a unique typing. Bug flying types. I wish we didn't have a freaking gazillion of those. The other thing that really ticked me off about the third generation Pokemon is when they started doing their obvious Pokemon clones in every game. And they not only had one, but they had two, Plusle and Minun. And this duo was just terrible. I mean, I'm sure there's someone who's figured out how to use them well in competitive gaming or double battles or things like that. But honestly, a tiny electric Pokemon that stats are terrible and it's never going to evolve, and there's two of those. I mean, what a waste. I will say they're cute, but like, Pikachu's overrated. I don't need more of them. Time for another segment of Who's That Waste of Space? And for today's episode, speaking of dynamic duos, or should I say disastrous duos, the Pokemon slot today is filled by Illuminous and Volbeat. And these Pokemon are just another set of the Pokemon from Generation 2 that were duo Pokemon, but they just weren't good. I mean, I can't think of anything exciting about them. I don't even know a lot to say about them. And it was like really a wasted space of having like a bug electric type. They were lightning bugs. They would have been so cool if they were bug electric types. That would have been something that would have made them worth using. But they've just blew that off. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please tune in for my next installment of Pokemon that I feel strongly about, or Generation 3 Pokemon. Part 2 will be coming soon. It'll be the next video that I post, so please stay tuned and check that out. Stay tuned. If you disagreed with the things that I said, please comment and share down below. And if you like this video, please subscribe. It helps out the channel and just takes a few seconds out of your time. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day. Gotta catch 'em all. It's promotion time. Hey guys, it's Tommy, the Green Ranger here, and I have a special message for my friend Nick. Go to my channel and subscribe. Go to my channel and subscribe. Go to my channel. Watch more videos on my channels. Go.